there. Congressman Trey Gowdy of South Carolina is the chair of the Benghazi Select Committee and a supporter of Senator Marco Rubio in his home state. Good to have you here in studio. We've talked to you many times remote. It's nice to have you in the studio, so good morning to you, Congressman. You just watched maybe a little bit of Donald Trump in the town hall environment. He is obviously doing very well. Let's put the numbers up for how they look in South Carolina right now. This is a Real Clear Politics average, so everybody at home should understand that this includes some polls that were taken before the debate, which was very fiery in South Carolina on Saturday night, and also some polls that were taken after. How much do you expect these numbers to move?
I think they're going to move a little bit. I was there Saturday night. My wife and I went to the debate. I thought Marco was flawless. I'm biased, obviously. I support him, but he had a rough time in New Hampshire, and he needed a strong debate Saturday night, and he got one. And I think over half of those calls related to that poll were done before the debate. So if you watched the debate, you thought Marco did well, I think his numbers will go up a little bit.
All right, so he and Donald Trump are both spending a lot of time going after Ted Cruz right now. He's the guy who's sandwiched in the middle, and at least as those numbers look, it's, you know, first place Donald Trump, second place Cruz, third place Rubio. Do you think that's an effective thing for him to do, or should he be basically focusing on the front runner?
I think Marco has spent a good bit of time defending himself, and Mr. Trump is not the one attacking Marco. It is both Governor Bush's PAC and it is Senator Cruz. So I think Marco's instinct is to defend himself, and to the extent that Mr. Trump is not attacking Marco or saying anything negative about his record, Marco's personality, his tendency is to just talk about himself and then defend himself if he's attacked, and Mr. Trump's not attacking him.
So do you think that, you know, I guess the question is, I mean, you eventually have to go after this front runner, though. I mean, we've seen that kind of strategy backfire in the past when there's a lot of infighting among, you know, people in spot 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a couple of them basically get knocked out of the race.
I think the theory is that Mr. Trump's supporters are very loyal, and there's a ceiling beyond which he cannot go. And that ceiling would not be 50%. So as the field winnows down, if Governor Kasich were to drop out, Governor Bush were to drop out, where do those votes go? And at some point, it's going to be a two-person race. And then I think electability is the defining issue. And to the extent Marco can win in November, and I think even his detractors admit he can win in November, the field's got to winnow down some. And until it does, then I think Marco's going to keep talking about what he would do and defend himself when attacked.
Yeah, we had Congresswoman Mia Love here yesterday. She's also supporting Marco Rubio, and you guys are both saying something very similar in terms of electability, that you backed him because obviously you like him, and also because you think that he's the person who's most electable. But, you know, when you look at the Trump voter, it appears to be a model that we have not really seen before, and that it may very clearly cut across Democrat lines as well. That's clearly their model for how they can win, that he is you know, going to draw from Democrats as well. How do you beat that?
Well, I do think that there are old Reagan Democrats that are back infused in the political system, but the poll you had earlier this morning showed there's a certain number of Republicans that won't support Mr. Trump. So you may pick up Democrats or blue-collar Democrats from the past, but you're also going to lose Republicans. And I think Marco is the most unifying candidate that we have. And I think it's not just electability, though. I mean, Marco is a conservative, and how this notion got perpetuated that he's an establishment guy, I find laughable. So if you have a conservative who can win without alienating large chunks of the Republican Party, I think ultimately, hopefully, folks are going to say, okay, we made our point. We want you to know that we are tired of Washington, we're tired of Congress, we made our point. If you want to make a difference, you have to win in November. So who can do that? And I think it's Marco.
Congressman, good to see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for coming to New York. We know you have to get back to your home state where all the action is.
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll do that this afternoon. Good to see you, sir.
You too. Thank you.